You know what I'm reading?
What are you reading?
I'm reading, in our library, we don't have book jackets.
Yeah.
But the name of this book, I know y'all can't see this. It says The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, Haidt. I listened to Trevor Noah's podcast, What Now? And he interviewed Jonathan Haidt. And he talked about this book. This man also wrote a book called about happiness, The Happiness Hypothesis, Finding Modern Truth in Ancient Wisdom. I'm going to read that too. I just got the book today. I'm listening to it on an app.
Okay.
Like audiobook. But I want to read along with it because he refers to charts in the book about, and what the book is about is the increase in anxiousness in all ages, but especially in children and since the pandemic. And it's talking about mothers who hover over their children to make sure that they don't fall into traps or fall down and hurt themselves. But what that does is that takes away their ability to learn what not to do to fall into those traps. And I think I might have been guilty of that a time or two. So, The Anxious Generation.
Okay.
I recommend it highly.
All righty then. I'm going to have to add that to my book list.
Add it. We can have a book. Maybe we can have a book club. That'd be great. Okay. I'm going to recommend it to. I'm going to the Nephilim Continuing Education meeting on Wednesday, and I'm going to recommend it.
Right. The Anxious Generation.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
You ready?
So, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to go over biographies and biography resources.
Okay. I have some. And I also have a special video tour of the Virtual Learning Center.
All right.
Part of a new augmented reality project that we just completed with the help of the Center for Instructional Research and Technology, Andy.
All right.
Okay.
You got my questions and you don't want to guess. I got a recommendations and that I can suggest. Yes, this library questions are a part of request. Here's Bill and Laura with instruction request.
Hi, Ospreys. My name is Lauren Odom, and I'm the instruction librarian.
And I'm Beryl White-Bing. I am the Virtual Learning Librarian.
And we are Instruction Requests, where we talk about common research questions, helpful resources,
and immersive technology in the Thomas G Carpenter Library.
All right. So today I don't have a specific research question of the day, but I will say I have seen a few questions about like primary sources and how to get to primary sources, where they can find them. And I think, honestly, that probably needs to be an episode in and of itself.
Right.
But I did see one person ask, is there like a filter for primary sources? And there is no there is no way to filter for primary sources. But some of the resources that we're going to go over today are places that you would be able to find primary resources.
A couple of the databases might have
primary sources.
Yeah. Have a filter. I know particularly JSTOR has a filter for primary sources, and also Opposing Viewpoints, Gale Opposing Viewpoints.
Oh, nice.
They have a filter for primary sources.
Okay.
But not in the one search.
Not in one search, yes. Okay. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go over some of those resources that are mainly for biographies, but you could find information on primary sources, autobiographies as well, etc. So first things first is we have to navigate to the biography database list. So as always, you need to go to the library website at unf.edu/library. You want to click on the database list link located next to the OneSearch search bar, and it will bring you to this page. And in the the subjects drop-down list, you want to choose the biography option, and that will leave you with 11 databases. The first one that we're going to look in today is called Biography in Context. It is a Gale database. And in this particular database, you can look up just a number of people and find information about them. So as you can see, the example there is Steven Spielberg. If you scroll down that page, it gives you like a list of people that fall under different categories. And then if you choose to browse all people, there's over 5,500 people. This list of names, A to Z, pops up. And in that box that I've highlighted there that says topics, you can choose based on what category these people fall under. So I thought that was really cool. So Biography in Context is a great place to go to look people up. Another database is the Florida Memory Project, it mainly highlights Florida history, and you can look at photographs, you can look at records such as ledgers, you can see maps, audio, video, and I also saw that they have a radio feature.
I used Florida Memory the other day when we had a question in the chat about Cecil Field Naval Base,
Mm-hmm.
and I found a couple of articles in Florida Memory Project
That's perfect.
about that because, Cecil Field is no longer a Navy base.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a part of history now.
Yes.
So I went there and found a couple.
Yeah, it's a great place for local history or any kind of Florida history. There's just all kind of gems that you could find here. In terms of biographies, there's plenty of information that is written about other people. I didn't make a screenshot, I don't believe, but under the Learn tab option, there are collections specifically for teachers and students where you can browse through collections and learn different information. It's really interesting there. And then the other database that we have is called Documenting the American South. And this one highlights Southern literature. This is definitely a place where you can go and do research that is based on the history of different people and eras, time frames of the South. And so if you need biographical information, this is definitely one of those places that you will want to go.
I've never used that.
I haven't used it either, but I'm definitely interested to dig around in there and see.
Maybe some genealogy in there as well. You don't know?
Yes, absolutely. All right.
Okay.
So.
Oh, it's on me?
I'm passing the clicker to you.
Passing the clicker on to me?
Yes.
Okay, this is a summer episode. It's going to be very, very short.
Yeah. So what's happening in the VLC?
Well, we're still camps. We're still waiting on camps and different things like that to come along. We got Playful Computing coming. We have an ethics camp coming. We have deaf and hard of hearing students coming. We also have a CCEC Middle School Camp for girls is coming. So we have camps coming into the VLC.
Exciting.
And we're going to be upgrading from our current headset, the HTC Vive Pro I, to the MetaQuest 3. That's going to happen in July.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we are trying to go through the logistics of how that's going to be different and what things we need to do to make sure we have continuity of instruction in the VLC.
All right.
All right, so now our experiences. For biography, of course, Andy, if you would put up the slide. We have the Anne Frank House. You can experience Anne Frank's hiding places as it was between 1942 and 1944. You can wander through the rooms where Anne Frank and 7 others hid during World War II. You immerse yourself in her thoughts because they go through her diary with quotes along the walls and everywhere. And thanks to the power of VR, you go through the annex and learn about all of the inhabitants that were with her in that house. You get an introduction on World War II and the reason why Anne Frank and her family had to go in hiding in a short video. And then you explore the annex, which was the hiding place of Anne Frank and 7 other people. And you discover the world in her own words. The next experience we have is, of course, our wonderful Eartha M.M. White, Northeast Florida native. She was a prominent African-American female from Jacksonville who found the Clara White mission. The VR narrative tells the story of Miss White's life and all of her accomplishments and gives a glimpse into her home and the base of operations, which is now the Eartha M.M. White Museum located in Jacksonville. This VR experience is a UNF-created VR experience, and it was made possible by an Innovative Project Award from the Northeast Florida Library Information Network in cooperation with the Eartha M.M. White Museum and special collections at the library. And those are the two biographical VR experiences that I wanted to highlight.
Okay.
We don't have a VR champion right now, but we do have a special tour of the VLC for those who've never been, so that you can see exactly what we have in the VLC. And keep in mind, we will be upgrading to new computers and MetaQuest 3s. However, I am going to keep the HTC Vive Pro Eyes because there is use for them, even though they aren't supported anymore. I feel like they're good, so I'm keeping them. Okay. All right, Andy, if you play the video. Welcome to the Virtual Learning Center in the Thomas G Carpenter Library at the University of North Florida. Here in the VLC, which is what we call the center, you will find 16 computer stations equipped with a high-powered computer, a monitor, and a virtual reality head-mounted device. Currently, we have HTC Vive Pro Eye headsets and our plan to upgrade to the most current Meta headset with the QuestLink cables to access PC-driven VR. This means that we not only can accommodate wireless VR, but also those stronger VR experiences that require software or more power to run them. Patrons may book a space in the VLC, or faculty can book a VLC instruction request for a class visit. We get our experiences from several platforms, but mainly the Steam store. Steam describes itself as the ultimate destination for playing, discussing, and creating games. However, they also use virtual reality experiences and software. Our Steam library is the major point of access for our VR experiences. Each computer station in the VLC has its own individual Steam library, which is organized according to the discipline it covers. Patrons are also allowed to log into their own Steam library and use the VLC equipment for access. We also have a space in the VLC that we use to highlight augmented reality experiences, activities on the Promethean board, or for use of MetaQuest experiences wirelessly. The VLC also has the recording studio under its supervision. For students, the recording studio is equipped with audiovisual equipment that can be used to produce all types of media. For more information about the VLC and its offering, you may go to libguides.unf.edu/VLC. All right, that's it. That's all I have.
All right. So that was a quick one today.
A quick
It is
episode
definitely
today.
the summer, but
It is
it's fine.
definitely summer.
All right. So what are we talking about in the next
The
episode?
next episode, we're going to talk about politics,
Political science.
political
Fun
science,
stuff.
and
Alright.
what kind of VR experiences am I going to come up with?
No,
for
VR is
politics?
continually surprising. So I imagine
There's some
something.
inappropriate ones out there.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about those.
Oh my goodness.
I do have a couple of, well, actually 2 or 3 really good ones.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
look forward to it. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Instruction Request Podcast. Remember that if you ever need research support, you can schedule a research consultation, or you can always schedule an
An
instruction
instruction
request.
request.